It all started with a folded note in my mailbox, crisp and official, like a summons from a suburban dictator. The HOA citation, typed in that smug, unyielding font, declared my rose garden a violation of Code 17C, unauthorized flora placement. In plain English, my new neighbor, Monica, the freshly minted HOA VYC president, had decided my roses were an eyesore. For 3 years, I poured my heart into that garden, trimming each bush with a surgeon's precision, feeding them coffee grounds, even talking to them during bloom season like they were old friends. My little corner lot had become a neighborhood. Gem kids sniffed the flowers, retirees snapped selfies, and one guy even borrowed clippings for his sister's wedding. But Monica, with her clipboard and her power trip, saw my roses as a personal affront to her VY shown of community harmony. The timing was no coincidence. 3 days after Monica's HOA coronation, the notice arrived, demanding I remove my non-compliant vegetation or face a due law 150 daily fine. A tax on beauty, if you ask me. I caught her during her morning jog, decked out in neon spandex that screamed suburban menace, a Bluetooth headset dangling and used. "What's wrong with my roses, Monica?" I asked, tried to keep it CIVYL. She flashed a smile, all teeth and no warmth, and said, "They're too VY brand. They clash with the aesthetic." Clashing? They're roses, not a punk rock band. I asked to see the rule. She whipped out a laminated HOA binder like it was the Constitution and pointed to a vague line about non-native plantings. Her interpretive discretion, she claimed, gave her the final say. I checked with neighbors. Nobody else got cited, not the guy with the succulent wall, not the lady with a garden gnome dressed as a horror MOVYE slasher. Monica's discretion, it seemed, was just code for "I don't like you." I tried reasoning, appealing to whatever shred of humanity she might have, but Monica's soul had clearly left town years ago. She slapped me with another citation for unneighborly confrontation, doubling the fine when I laughed, thinking it was a joke. She wasn't laughing. Out of spite, I trimmed my roses to stubs and left them bagged on her porch, labeled contraband, Exhibit A. Big mistake. She filed a complaint for landscape debris harassment, and a third notice arrived, threatening escalated enforcement. My neighbor Tim, sipping iced tea like he was watching a soap opera, warned me Monica once tried to EVYCT a family over a pink flamingo. "She's not here for peace," he said. "She's here to run the show." Staring at my butchered roses that night, it hit me. This wasn't about flowers. It was about control. Monica needed a win, and I was her target. I could surrender, rip out my garden, and let her steamroll my home's soul, or I could fight back. The next morning, strolling past her house, I noticed her pristine herb garden under her bedroom window, the perfect spot for a little rebellion. If Monica wanted a war, I'd give her one with thorns. I didn't go for vandalism or petty pranks. No, I chose poetic justice. Late one night, under a sliver of moonlight, I crept out, gloves thick enough for a hazmat team, dressed in black like a suburban ninja. My trunk held a single purchase from a nursery. Poison ivy, the botanical equivalent of a middle finger. Monica's house, with its sterile white siding and manicured hedges, screamed control. But that bare patch of soil under her window, it was begging for chaos. I planted the ivy deep, mulched it, and added decorative stones to blend it with her landscaping. Poison ivy is patient, its rash a slow-burning gift. I placed it where she'd brush against it, yelling at dog walkers or snipping her precious basil. Karma, I figured, needed time to bloom. For days, I played nice, trimming my roses into sad, bald stalks, milking sympathy from neighbors who muttered about the crazy HOA lady. Monica gloated online, posting compliance achieved. Unity is beautiful, with a rose emoji that felt like a personal jab. But while she sipped decaf and basked in her VY Tory, the ivy crept, curling up her brick like a whispered rumor. That weekend, I saw her lean out her window, policing the street, her arm grazing the leaves. Within 48 hours, she was in long sleeve despite the 80-degree heat, scratching furiously during an HOA trash inspection. At an emergency meeting called over a neighbor's unapproved wreath, she wore fingerless gloves, flinching at the mention of yard work. She blamed eczema, but Tim, an ex-paramedic, whispered, "That's poison ivy, no question." Monica's grip was slipping, but her ego held firm. She doubled down, finding people from mailbox height, solar lights, even overly reflective mulch. My friend Sarah, targeted for her sparkly mulch, bedazzled her lawn flamingo in protest. Monica retaliated, demanding monthly landscape photos, citing a new rule she'd found. But her rash worsened, her posture slumped, and word spread she'd hit urgent care twice in a week. I kept my poker face, nodding solemnly when asked about her stress. The real genius wasn't the RAS hit, was the paranoia. When Monica knocked on my door, gloved and twitching, asking if I'd seen anything invasive near her window, I feigned ignorance. "Just your mint," I said. "Heard it's hard to control." She blinked and shuffled off. That night, I watered my recovering roses and toasted their Sir VY Val. But Monica's downfall wasn't just botanical. Tim handed me a folder, a relic from his HOA days, stuffed with emails, receipts, and minutes. Buried in it was gold. A due law $4,200 payment to Evergreen Solutions LLC for non-existent landscaping, plus due law $1,100 for pest mitigation with no records. The LLC's address? A P.O. box. The registered agent? Monica Lynn Carter, her full name. She'd been funneling HOA funds to herself. Another bombshell. Emails showed her pushing to sell our greenbelt for Townhomes Rosehaven Estates, no less while finding my roses out of existence. The hypocrisy was breathtaking. Sarah, the neighborhood's unofficial whistleblower, lit up like she'd cracked a thriller. "She's done," she vowed. We formed a crew: Tim, Sarah, me, and Luis, whose aggressively spiky cacti Monica had targeted. Calling ourselves the Sanity Squad, we dug deeper. Email showed Monica trying to nix vote-based spending approvals for Streamline Trust, aka unchecked power. She even pitched a thermal drone for nighttime compliance checks. Who spies on gardens at 3 a.m.? A crook, that's who. At an emergency HOA meeting, Monica pushed for crisis enforcement powers, while VYing a PowerPoint of random chaos-overgrown hedges, graffiti, a raccoon. "Visual disorder threatens our values," she declared. The room buzzed with skepticism. Sarah stood, calm as a sniper, and moved to suspend Monica pending a financial audit. Tim seconded, flashing the bylaws. I clicked the projector, revealing receipts, the LLC, and her real name. Silence felt like a guillotine. Monica hissed, "Lies," but Tim produced notarized county records. Sarah sealed it, calling for a vote to replace her. The room erupted. 94 Fantram voted her out. Sarah became VP, and Monica stormed off, tripping over a chair in a poetic stumble. The county launched a zoning fraud probe, uncovering forged signatures, some from dead residents. Then came the kicker. Monica was also Lynn Carson from a Colorado HOA, where she'd embezzled $60,000 VY, fake landscaping deals before vanishing. Court records, signatures, even a P.O. box matched. We tipped the state AG, who found a Colorado warrant for Lynn Carson. A Facebook post from Monica's old profile, captioned "Beautifying Colorado," tied her to both identities. The sheriff's car parked outside her house said it all. Monica fled to an RV park, ironically one she'd once called an aesthetic blight. She was caught berating someone over dryer etiquette, arrested in gardening gloves and a Respect Authority sweatshirt. The neighborhood chat exploded. HOA queen dethroned. Monica's trial was a circus. Charges piled up: fraud, forgery, zoning abuse. Sarah testified like a poet. Tim dissected bank statements. Luis's drone footage showed Monica measuring lawns like a dictator. A Colorado HOA veteran flew in, detailing her past scams. The judge called her a suburban tyrant. Her sentence? 18 months house arrest, 5 years probation, due law $38,000 restitution, and best of all community, Sarah VYC planting rose gardens on the greenbelt she tried to sell. Monica, who find my roses, was now legally bound to plant them. On her first shift, we watched, sipping lemonade as she shoveled dirt, her ankle monitor glinting. I leaned in, inspecting her work, and said, "Needs more red." Her silence was sweeter than any bloom. Our neighborhood transformed. We rewrote the HOA charter, axing rules on VY Brandt plants or noisy wind chimes. The Monica Clause mandated transparent spending. Meetings became potlucks. Fines became help offers. We built a gazebo on the Greenbelt, painted by teens, soundtracked by Sinatra. A YouTube video of Monica's Sagadrone clips, receipts, her mugshot at 3 million VYUs. Mem fruit dicto, te those chendet. News called us the greatest suburban takedown. Other HOAs begged for our charter. We sent Rose clippings instead. A year later, at our Rose Festival, Monica returned. No clipboard, just a landscaping company windbreaker and a restitution check. "I was wrong," she muttered, handing Sarah wild rose seeds toward her planting. She left quietly, her car fading into the dusk. Tim planted her seeds by the gazebo. "Let her roses grow," he said. "We'll prune if they spread." I tucked a red rose into the fence where her citation once hung. Monica had tried to erase beauty, but ended up sewing it across towns, each bloom whispering, "Don't be a Monica." What would you do if your HOA found your garden? Would you fight with paperwork, plants, or something sneakier? Should Monica have been forgiven, or was her rose planting punishment too light? Drop your thoughts below, like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more tales of justice.